now go and take a look at the oranges.
Our army manned the air, it ran the ramparts, it took over the airport.
And God bless the United States.
To be a sanctuary. 10,000 known or suspected gang members. I'm going to take such good care of women's health care issues, you won't even believe it. Combat infantrymen, the demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges. Yesterday's a hard word for me. To be a sanctuary.
You know, we just set another stock drop. You saw that, right?
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
I think I'm much more humble than you would understand.
No perverts. No perverts.
Late being a very positive word in this case.
No perverts.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
Oof, that was just annoying. It's just headphone issues. It's what happens when you're away for a little bit. Hi, how are you? Musical interlude. Was there an echo? I apologize. I was. It might have been while I was trying to fix things. Was there a? Let's see.
We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President Mike Pence and his wonderful wife Karen.
Okay, good. Welcome to the show, everybody, and welcome to our slightly new setup, moving background. Those of you that might be new to the experience, I'm growing a little bit, and along with it, there's a couple of questions. We're gonna deal with Donald Trump's short little 10-minute speech that he gave in Iowa that was apparently uber fun, if I do say so my damn self, because
I know words. I have the best words.
I mean, you're guaranteed that he's going to say the best words. Some of them, like anonymous.
Anonymous, really anonymous.
Or criminal.
Criminal. Look, wait.
Sure. Obama. That's, I mean, credit where credit is due. A lot of people, in all fairness, had difficulty with Barack Obama's name in the beginning, where to, oftentimes they would put the emphasis on the wrong syllable, as my grandfather would say. But in the case of Donald Trump, he just decided to add consonants.
Obama.
Yeah, wherever he felt it. And then, of course, I think this is the part that takes us into the story that we'll experience tonight, which is the basis, the beginnings, the starting point, if you will, or...
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges.
Right, or the oranges of a story. Can you send me what kind of photo is it? I'm nervous. Anyways, the important thing, though, is welcome. Welcome to you all. I forgot. I haven't set up buttons for this yet. Hi. And I got my name on the thing so people know whose show it is. God damn it. And also, the Venmo is back, in case you want to support the show via Venmo. It doesn't have a cool frame, but I'm working on it. Peace. Peace. As best I can. Yes, A Tale of Two Tangerines.
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges.
I agree. And at some point, I hope they check out the eggs as well.
5 eggs.
You know what I mean? So, all 5 of them.
5 eggs in a month.
Right, exactly. So, there's a lot of details today, not the least of which I think we should start with, obviously, the story around, the breaking story, if I'm allowed to break a story in front of everyone, is, of course, the tale of Devon Archer. Devon Archer was here to blow the lid off the cap of the thing, of the top of the beginning of the thing, and he was going to be a pivotal witness.
Made a pivotal, really.
Really. Something along those lines. He was, I think, he was suspected of criminal activity. He was found guilty of
10,000 known or suspected gang members.
I see. That's different people, though. But he was thinking he could hide out in some sort of sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Or sanctuary. Sure. Why not? But in the process, if I may, let's see if I can dig this thing up. Dan Goldman coming in hot with the Devon Archer news, and the story. Hold on. I want to
now
open this
President
and then pause it. There we go. We'll go straight to. Yeah, Ron Filipowski has this up, and so the big story, the big tale, the tale of two shitties, was that Devon Archer, former partner in crime. Not literally, but figuratively, with Hunter Biden, was supposed to show up today, but the DOJ was going to shut him down. They were going to throw him in jail and never give him a chance to speak, just like the January 6ers, so that they could, fabricate video on their Facebook pages that show them taking a shit in the rotunda, holding a Confederate flag, going, "Look, I did it." And obviously, this is pre-Chat GPT, so I don't even know, pre-Mid-Journey. I don't know how they got this, but they did it. They kept these people locked away in Guantanamo, Guantanamo, I don't know, Gizmodo. I don't know. We'll figure some way to slam all the words together. Basically, they turned them into Papillon. And they were all, so that they could, be be kept quiet till, you know, information could be fabricated that showed them being proud of taking a shit in the rotunda at the Capitol on January 6th after stepping over the blood, sweat, and tears of police officers, you know, so they could back the blue. And apparently Devin Archer was going to come in here swinging and pretty low, maybe even able to throw it over his shoulder. And he came in and he was going to tell them all about how Joe Biden is all wrapped up in Hunter's business, and they talk all the time, and not like father-son talk, like, how you doing, son? We just lost your brother. Are you okay? Or how you doing, dad? We just lost your other son. How you doing? Good morning, good evening, and good day. Love you. Not that kind of talk. But Dad, I'm sitting here with 10 guys with $1 million each, and none of them speak English. Can you say I'm Joe Biden and you make out the check out to the big guy, and I'll fill in the Mad Libs of criminality. And so Devin Archer was supposed to roll in, spill the beans and the tea, the baked beans, and that was going to be it. That was it. Impeachment hearings would start, I guess it's 3:18. We go to 3:19 p.m. Pacific time, of course. Obviously, they're going to want to draft this overnight because they don't want them to have all the typos and misspelling that all the Marjorie Taylor Greene impeachments have. This is a pro. This is next level. This is a biggie. So, Devin Archer was going to seal the deal, and I gotta say, I love Dan Goldman. And I want to have his babies. I've been watching this dude on these committees, and there are like 3 people who are 4 at least, who are just masters of taking no shit from Republicans on these committees, and Dan Goldman is 2 of them. And this is him coming out of the Devin Archer testimony. And well, let's see. Hold on, I'll move it in closer so you can see. And and away we go.
Like most of the time, now President Biden didn't even know who the people he was at dinner. He was just asked to say hello, and he would, talk about the way he described it several times. They asked over and over and over. He described what the weather was, how what's going on your end. The witness was very, very consistent that none of those conversations ever had to do with any business dealings or transactions. They were purely what he called casual conversations.
I don't know about you. Well, I kind of, you know what? I take it back. I do know about you. I love you and I appreciate you. And thank you. Like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up if you can. And I think that you can. And I don't want to, I don't want to overdo it in reminding you to like and subscribe. But that said, let's see. Do I have something along the lines? Nope. I could just go right over to here. Slip this. I'm going to open this part. Go to here. Let's go to. I'm going to go down to here. And yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't want to overdo it, but subscribe. Just do it. It's easy. It's simple enough. I trust that you're able to do it. But I will say this. I don't know about you, but the way Dan describes it, if I may call him Dan, and I think that I may, it sounds a lot like what's the phrase I'm looking for? Perfect phone call. The irony. Okay. Meanwhile, let's see. Here we go. This is Andy Biggs, who's one of the biggest, just Republican jagoffs all the way across. And this is, let's see, where's the 700K? Okay, yeah, well, this will be, I'll just open this part of it up. So this is Andy Biggs. Asked if Devin Archer said Biden knew anything, that knew anything about a bribe or transaction.
Can you talk about the bribe at all? The $5 million bribe?
He didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know anything about that?
No. It was Kim 23.
He didn't know anything about that.
Do you think today's testimony made it more likely that the president should be impeached?
I think we should do an impeachment inquiry. It's a different animal, but I think we need to do an inquiry.
Now, significant questions, blah, blah, blah. All right. Couple things. One, what's this in my pocket? Oh, that's, I had to replace my, my windshield wipers today because one of them cooked in the heat. So I had to never trust a man who can't change his own windshield wipers. I'm just going to say that, ladies. And, it should be a red flag. I'm good. That's one of the things I don't care what the model is, can make it happen. Anyways, strictly speaking, and I'm going to turn the audio off on this and just watch it again. This is Andy Biggs coming out of there. And I want you to look at the body language here. I want you to look at how he's carrying himself, how he's reacting to the press. Does this guy give you the impression that he discovered a smoking gun of any sort? Is this the kind of thing, is this kind of action you see from, let's say, a prosecutor who was like, aha, he admitted that he knew we're on our way to go get the killer out of jail and have him drive us to where the gun is buried? Or does he look really disappointed? I mean, really. And this is a Fox News alert. He's like, well, shit. Nope. All I can say is hopefully better luck next time. I don't. Yeah, no. I can't talk right now. I'm in a big hurry to go eat a nothing burger. It's funny thing about nothing burgers. You eat one, and a half hour later, you're. Just see what I mean, guys? Does that strike you guys at all as particularly telling? Oh, it's so good. Very disappointed. Right. What a great. I mean, he kind of does even favor Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element. There's no stones. Yeah. Oh my God. Like all of them look like just pissed. It's so good. It's so good. The fruits of crime, don't you know? So, if I may, let's go back to let's see, Devin Archer, videos on this, and I want to show you. Let's see, I think there's. I love this one. That this is the one that keeps coming up over and over again. But like, please enjoy your nothing burger. Yeah, is this okay? That's the second one. Yeah, so here's Dan Goldman. This is the longer version of Dan Goldman saying this. This is good. So this is the clickable thing. And then I'm going to show you something that Marjorie Taylor Greene posted because she's just having the best time.
We on the minority did not even need to use our full 2 hours because, once again, this witness has no information connecting Joe Biden to any of Hunter Biden's business dealings as a private citizen or otherwise. It was abundantly clear, and the witness stated unequivocally, that there is no evidence in his possession or his knowledge that Joe Biden ever discussed business with Hunter Biden.
Ouch.
Joe Biden ever did anything on behalf of Hunter Biden's business interests or otherwise, never changed official policy in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, the only evidence that we have is to the contrary, which is that even though it was perceived by Burisma that they had the Prosecutor General Shokin under control, quote unquote, that Joe Biden advocated for his firing, which of course was not coveted or desired by Burisma and would potentially be bad for Burisma. And I want to be very clear about one thing. He did describe that there were approximately 20 occasions over the course of their nearly decade-long business relationship where, when one of them called the other, that Hunter Biden would ask his father to say hello to whomever he was at dinner. He said there were some times when it was friends and sometimes when it was potential business partners or business partners. But the witness was unequivocal and stated very clearly that they never discussed any business on that phone conversations. There were niceties, and there was a hello, and we talked about the weather or whatever it was, but it was never any business. And I think it's really important to remember that during this time period that we're talking about here, Beau Biden, Hunter Biden's brother and President Biden's son, became very ill with cancer and died. That was in the spring of 2015. And the witness described in vivid detail about how devastating that was to both Hunter Biden and to Joe Biden, and how their communications picked up dramatically in the aftermath, because Joe Biden was calling his son to check on him, and Hunter Biden was calling his dad to check on him. It had nothing to do with business, and that is the sum and substance of what the testimony was. So then the question becomes, how much longer are we going to go on this fishing expedition? There is no evidence connecting President Biden to anything related to Hunter Biden. We have been told by the Republicans repeatedly that this is an investigation to Joe Biden. There is no evidence that connects Joe Biden to any of this. And we've now had witness after witness come in, and they have testified to the same thing. At some point, the American people are going to have to ask, how much longer are the Republicans going to take us on a wild goose chase that is attacking a private citizen of the United States and has no connection to any legitimate purpose of Congress or to the President of the United States?
Yep, that's that's fairly clear. That's pretty unequivocal. Now you guys know how much I hate to say I told you so. And you guys know how much I hate to dunk on Republicans, you know, because you know, you don't want to kick somebody when they're down, they're having a rough go of it. But let me, it's unequivocal. Everything, the entirety of Devin Archer's, they're like, it's true. Hunter Biden talked to his dad while he was sitting around other people, business and friends, while the time Biden was mourning the death of his son. Like, get the hell out. So, for the record, yeah, go fish is right. I don't know what's weirder. The fact that these people just can't take no for an answer as a real answer, and then that they run on this idea of like, government can't do anything right, bureaucracy's terrible, they don't know how to do anything right, we'll investigate. Aren't you the government? Yeah, but... And then the other part, which is, I guess that they don't... Did they not call their family? They all hate their own family? Because they all seem to be incapable of processing fathers and sons speak. And maybe it's because a lot of them would have, at some point, I guess, kicked Hunter Biden to the curb because of his addictions and other stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know who does that, but except them, it would seem. I'll show you. This is yeah, okay. So go. Back in blah blah blah. Let's see. There's a oh, there we go. Just said this down early in the hearing. It was actually representative. So when Big says he should have an impeachment inquiry. Oh, I see. People apparently on Fox News think that Andy Biggs is Devin Archer. So when he came out and said what he said, they think that there should be impeachment hearings. They think Devin Archer's saying that. Oh boy. All right, here's the beginning of the Andy Biggs stuff. Hold on one second. Let me pause this for, and then I want to bring you in, and so you guys can see this. This is the beginning of this conversation. Oops, hold on. Go to here. Where he was just saying, you know, is there, you know, what evidence is there? Okay. Now, the weird thing is that they've gone from big guy, the big guy means my guy. And and I don't know about you, but that's, to me, it sounds like in the thing that he's describing when he talks about this, it sounds like you have your people call my people, my guy, my lawyer, my, assistant, my executive assistant. Let me, my guy, I'll give you a call. My guy says this, let me check with my guy. Your accountant, your legal guy, whatever the conversation, whatever is specific about that particular conversation, my guy on this particular job. But apparently, any mention of guy is Joe Biden.
Do you think the president of the United States is compromised?
He says, do you think the president of the United States is compromised?
Based on Archer's testimony?
Based on Archer's testimony.
I think so. And we'll continue to do our due diligence and our research.
Okay, so I think he blows off. That sounds like in this question. You guys can ask, I don't want to overdo the breakdown of this, but I will say this, and they screw this ex-Hunter associate on Capitol Hill, and then they cut to Andy Biggs, and it says lawmakers react, plural, but they don't say that it's him because maybe they don't know who Biggs is at Fox. But when he says, do you think he's compromised? I think he's already into the answer in his head, I think so, before he says based on Archer's testimony. Because, of course, that's Andy Biggs. He thinks, or at least he's selling the idea that Biden is compromised. I don't know what the evidence is that he is, because, again, they have yet to show any quo any fucking where, but you'll see what.
Do you think the president of the United States is compromised based on Archer's testimony?
I think so. And we'll continue to do our due diligence and our research.
Okay. He was supposed to be the smoking gun, for fuck's sake. Wasn't he? This was like, oh shit, this is the guy who was emailing him back and forth and they were in business together. Like, this is it. Devin Archer's going to come in and say who the big guy was and how much, and that he was on these phone calls when Hunter was doing business. And then he goes in and he says, no, he would call him at night. And if he was in a meeting or if he was hanging out with friends or we were just hanging out, he'd say, hi, Dad, love you. You're on speakerphone. Say hi to Gary and Shemp and Teresa and Big Tony, Bullet Tooth Tony and Boris the Blade. And he would. And he'd go, hey, where are you guys at? You're in Miami. How's the weather down there? That's good. Okay, cool. Well, have a great night. Love you, son. Bye. Click. That was it. So then the idea is that, and this is what Fox is running with, is that Hunter was selling this as, I'm going to, this, by his dad calling him during the meetings or people knowing that his dad was calling him and that it's really him, he was selling the brand. Well, the Biden brand is, interestingly enough, considering Hunter's the outlier in this situation because of Joe and Bo and the family and his big Catholic story, backstory, and the fact that he's got ashes on his forehead every Ash Wednesday and all that kind of stuff, is family and loyalty and closeness and love and blah. That's the brand, not crack and hookers. And so maybe that's why Hunter might want to make people he's doing business with or he's around know that I'm closer to my dad than I am to you fucks.
Phone calls. Dan Goldman told us that all of the times that Joe Biden was put on speakerphone or showed up at a dinner, there was always niceties, nothing.
She's repeating, by the way. She's saying Dan Goldman just told us that when Hunter was on with his dad, he was a speaker. It was just niceties and stuff, and no business was discussed.
About business dealings, is that?
Yeah, but he.
Yeah, but so let's just be clear. Little big man here just confirmed what Dan Goldman said. Yes, indeed. Devin Archer said no business was discussed, and when his dad was on the speakerphone with him. Period. End of story. So that, by the way, unless you have him there or you have a piece of paper attaching him to that, you're kind of, what's the word? It's fucked, I think is the word.
Probably forgot to tell you that Devin Archer himself said that was an implication of who the big guy is. I mean, and Archer talked about the big guy and how Hunter Biden always said, we need to talk to my guy. We need to see when my guy's going to be here and those types of things. So.
Well, his guy was never actually there. So his guy could have been any number of guys.
The bribe at all? The $5 million bribe and the
He didn't know anything about it.
Do you know anything about the bribe or the bribe? Was there a bribe? Is there a bribe? No. Just what's the word? Just bullshit. Just a lot of bullshit. Let's see. There is, let me see what, and by the way, Fox is trying to have, okay, let me show you how bad it is at Fox. I'm going to show you exactly how bad it is. And part of this is the timing, but part of this is they're not breaking somebody in to do this. Well, I'll show, hold on. I'll show you what the cutaway is to when they go. And this should tell you a thing or two.
This now, Jillian, this is intriguing to our viewers at home. Archer tells the House investigators that Hunter Biden put then VP Biden on a speakerphone more than 20 times to sell, quote, the brand, in parentheses, in business conversations. And Chad goes on to say that Archer testified.
That's, in case you don't know, that's a building in Washington, D.C., commonly referred to as the Capitol. It has scaffolding on it because of ongoing repairs, some that were already in process before January 6th, some since, as you might imagine. And they had to cut away to the building because the news was so shocking.
Testified that there was a value of adding Hunter Biden to Burisma's board, was the brand. Burisma is the energy company out of Ukraine. The argument was that then Vice President Joe Biden brought the most value to the brand. There's that phrase yet again.
Yes, the name is worth something. Yes, they hired his son because of his name. Big fucking deal. And here's the thing. The brand stands. That's the problem they have, is that they, sadly enough, the brand is honesty, loyalty, all that kind of stuff. And it turned out to be the case because they told Shokin to go fuck himself because Zlochevsky thought he had him on a short leash.
Archer also stated that Burisma would have gone under if not for the brand. Wow. In December.
Fuck you. Oh my God. So, okay, couple things. Have you figured out yet how you know they're very disappointed at Fox News with this dud shell? I'll give you a hint. It's because they put Bill Hemmer on it. The fact that he's the person delivering the news means that it's fucking nothing. And the brand part, what I tell you, if somebody has a gun to your head, and this is the question for all Republicans, for everybody, somebody's got a gun to your head and you have to invest your entire life savings and your kids' college fund and every dime your family has, and you only have two choices: before Hunter Biden joins Burisma or after. When do you do it? You have to do it. Your only choices: before or after he's there. And the obvious answer is after, because you would make money on the deal. That's the brand. Even with all of his fucking problems, Hunter Biden did for Burisma what Joe's doing for the U.S. economy, recovering it after a horribly corrupt previous administration.
December of 2015, the owner of Burisma, gentleman, the CEO who ran the company, placed constant pressure on Hunter Biden to get help from Washington, D.C. regarding the Ukrainian prosecutor, Viktor Shokin. To tie this all together now, this energy company...
Oh, by the way, keeping him there, because Yovanovitch and our ambassador, one of the things that she, and that others were talking about, was the fact that they've been trying to pry this fucker loose forever. Zlochevsky wanted Shokin to stay. That's what they were calling. They weren't calling to get rid of Shokin. They were calling him like, hey, go easy. Don't. I hear you're going to get rid of this guy. Don't. Fucking hell. This it's so and granted, they are just trying to put tits on this rock and get some cream for their coffee, and it is so fucking bizarre. Let's see. There was a where is it? There yeah, here you go. I love this. Stunning development. Here's the stunning development.
So Goldman sort of explaining that Archer qualified the topics of discussion on these phone calls as niceties that Biden sometimes didn't even know who was on the other line with his son Hunter. And, sources in the room telling CNN now that Archer did not point the finger directly at any sort of a connection between Joe Biden and his son's foreign business dealings, and rather, said that Hunter Biden was selling the illusion of said access. Boris?
Really a stunning development, Zach, when you consider that Republicans were selling this as a breakthrough that would link Hunter's business dealings with his father instead.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to think that James Comer is a moron. I don't know. It's just called me crazy. It feels like to me that, and I don't know if other people are coming to this conclusion that haven't already drawn that conclusion, but I get the distinct feeling that this dipshit is very I don't know. It's a lot of empty promises, it seems. There was hold on one second. There's a piece of footage, and I'm going to try and find it for you guys. I think I know where it is. Hold on one second. But, essentially, interestingly enough, the Daily Beast, and again, by the way, we'll talk about it. Where is it? Security firm started by won't pay. Okay. Yeah, here it is. This is yeah. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so this is Aaron Rupar pulled this clip. This is a clip of Tom Emmer, the number 3 House Republican. And this sums it up, kids. I think this puts the whole thing to bed, if I do say so my damn self. Oh, it's so good. Here we go. This is I present to you. There he is. On the right, that's Tom Emmer. He's on the Al Travis show, apparently. And tell me if this sounds like fence straddling to you.
The Biden conspiracy thing, it's real. Yep. I mean, it looks...
Yeah, okay, that's it. The Biden conspiracy thing is real. I mean, what more do you need? Now, that's one of those phrases where you could read it both ways. You could say that Republicans' conspiracy theory about Biden is a real thing with them. They really do live in this conspiracy theory. So the theory is real. That doesn't mean it's true, but don't let that stop you. Wait till he finishes it out. It's only 18 seconds and it's fucking magic.
The Biden conspiracy thing, it's real. Yep. I mean, it really looks bad. Do they have a piece of paper that connects the president to his son's peddling influence around the world? Not that I know of, but shouldn't we be asking?
What?
Bad. Do they have a piece of paper that connects the president to his son's peddling influence around the world? Not that I know of.
Nothing. What? We're in the 3rd year of this shit. They have every record they could possibly want. Even this includes what Archer has preeminently given them as far as his communications. They have the whole laptop. They got the whole laptop up their ass. And that's amazing to me. This is it. After all this, do they have a piece of paper? I don't want to hear shit from Comer about piles and stacks of docs and blah, 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 blah.
Really looks bad. Do they have a piece of paper that connects the president to his son's peddling influence around the world? Not that I know of, but shouldn't we be asking the questions? How did this happen?
That's me asking the question. I love this, like, Tucker Carlson fucking fallback. Shouldn't we be asking the question? Not anymore. What are you, a fucking child? No, we're not there yet. Stop asking the same question, expecting a different answer, fuckhead. That's the problem. None of this is about people can't even ask the question. We're not even allowed to discuss the... No, but it's all of this. You've asked the question and you've gotten an answer. And the answer is no. Fuck off. You're barking up the wrong tree. You're wasting your time. Meanwhile, Donald Trump had stacks of classified documents on a stage at Mar-a-Lago, a place that he barely lives at, if you call that living, and wanders in on groups that are there renting the place out and grabs the microphone, starts blathering about his legal troubles 18 feet from the door to the shitter where they were putting the other documents. He's on tape saying, I know this is classified. I know I didn't declassify it. Are you fucking bananas? He's on tape. And the fucking nerve of this guy.
Do they have a piece of paper that connects the president to his son's peddling influence around the world? Not that I know of.
Then find it or shut the fuck up. Oh my God. This is so... it's just so lazy. Jesus Christ. Do any of them have, like every time you turn around, there's these, like, giant, like, dumps.
Dumps. They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Of Trump evidence. Of him, like, willfully and blatantly and braggadociously breaking the law all the time. And every time one of those things comes out where they know he gets a target letter and they're like, oh shit, this is real stuff or whatever. Guys, we need another Hunter Biden hearing because, and then the opposite, then they argue the opposite because as soon as Trump's, indictment comes down or he gets a search warrant or something like that they know is coming because they've been told ahead of time, they can say, oh, they're only doing this because of the Hunter Biden thing, which is exactly, by the way, what Trump says. So we will get to that just now. But I do love the fact that you're here. But besides that, I do love the fact that Trump has, I suppose, run out of options. At this point, all he's got to, I mean, I guess he can always repeat the same shit over and over and over again, because according to him, he, where is it?
I know words. I have the best words.
Right. But, this is his, where the full speech from him. This is in Des Moines, Iowa. And so, Mark, in our chat, Mark Reimer can give you guys some background on some of this if you want, because he's originally from there. And yeah. And eventually...
Here I am like an idiot.
Right. He's... there he is. This is pretty short, I think, compared to his, like, long gathering. We'll see. But he did... I'm going to do that one later in the week. But here we go. This is Trump basically... This isn't 100 minutes. No, this one's 10. This is him at this gathering.
Please welcome President.
Yeah, so this is just a gathering of Republican hopelesses. And GOP candidates speak to first in the nation voters. Not to be confused with First Nation voters, which can't stand any of these motherfuckers.
President Donald J. Trump.
What the fuck? How's he supposed to know when to walk out and... Okay, I got a speech. I got a thing. They picked some country music. I don't know when it's going to be over. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
An anonymous, really an anonymous.
To be a stank singer.
combat infantrymen. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges. Very large a brain. Yesterday's a hard word for me.
Okay, so this is his dude music.
Well, thank you very much. Great.
Oh yeah, no, please, no, thank me very much. This is exciting. This is this is a problem. When the flag is so fucking big, it looks like you're standing in front of a giant barber pole.
Honor to be with you, and hello, Iowa.
They put Iowa down you know it's Iowa. It's got to be Iowa. No place to be but Iowa. You can't mispronounce it. Not like Nevada.
I'm here to deliver a very simple message, Iowa.
In deference to you, because you're all simple. Thank God. I love the simple minded.
Has never had a better friend in the White House than President Donald J. Trump, and I think we know that. He made a lot of big promises.
It's like 8 people. All right. I mean, we're kind of Iowa Reagan people over here. I don't want to be. I mean, I like Dick Cheney a lot. I like the whole shooting your friend in the face and the and the stress positions things. I liked enhanced interrogation. That got me hot under the collar. So okay.
Promises to the people of this great state, and as your president, I kept every single one of those promises.
Mm-hmm. Yes, especially when he said he was going to get Mexico to pay for all the corn.
I gave the farmers $28 billion straight.
Yeah, this place is all farmers. I flew over the fucking place. Are there any cities here?
Out of the tariffs I took from China. No other president took anything from China.
They didn't even get 10 cents. They never got 10 cents.
Got hundreds of billions of dollars. We gave the farmers $28 billion.
Wait, you got hundreds of billions of dollars and you only gave them 28? They were the ones most affected. You motherfucker.
And that was the largest amount was given to Iowa.
All right, Iowa farmers didn't get $28 billion. I'm just telling you right now.
Ended the NAFTA disaster, the worst trade deal ever made in this country.
They modified it and changed the name.
And replaced.
And changed it, by the way, a bunch of this stuff people have been trying to change for a long time. And the only thing stopping them really was Obama didn't want them to do really gnarly stuff. And Bush didn't think it went far enough, and Trump didn't give a shit. He just wanted his name.
With the brand new.
And by the way, the audio on this is fairly terrible. I'm sorry.
USMCA, and that's, as you know, Mexico, Canada was the best trade deal ever made, and so good, in fact, that the two nations are now trying very, very hard to renegotiate the deal, and don't let them do that.
He's been saying that for two years and change.
And while I never mention it because of COVID or the China virus, as they say.
As they say? As you say, you dumb motherfucker.
I don't do teleprompters at all. It says it right here. I don't do teleprompters at all. I don't want to use teleprompters. I like speaking off the cuff. And I was reading off the cuff, which is very good to do. And I learned how to read like this from Greg Kelly, who always, whatever you do, don't look up.
Got China to buy, and this is.
Got to buy. Did he all of a sudden become Foster Brooks? Shit. But he got him to buy.
Do that. And while I never mention it because of COVID or the China virus, as they say, I also got China to buy, and this is.
To buy.
So important, but.
Bye-bye, baby.
Just don't talk about it. To buy $50 billion worth of American farm product, and they were buying it.
Farm product. Ew, ew. Oh, farm product. Oh, do they now? Oh, the MAGA got them to buy farm product. Oh, isn't that lovely? I'll be in the drawing room playing the grand piano as they buy farm product. No. The first deal was for 30. They bought less than a third, you dumb motherfucker. And they needed it. They bought less than they needed. They'd rather starve their people, you dummy.
And they were buying it in a very big way.
No, you were selling it in a very big way. Americans were in lines to get food because they'd lost their jobs en masse because it didn't go away when it got hot, as a matter of when the sun came out in the spring and the thing and the injecting the bleach didn't work. So a lot of people lost their fucking jobs and were hungry. And instead of going, you know what, we got all this beef, we got this corn, we got these soybeans, we got the, let's just give it away to the American people. The U.S. government will buy it and we'll just pack it up and give everybody a fucking box of goodies so that, you know, because we're all in this together. And nope, I'm going to sell all of our beef, pork, corn, and soybeans to the people that I accuse of attacking us with a bioweapon, because that makes sense. Because you know what? History has been cruel to Neville Chamberlain, and I want to put an end to that by being more complicit in total destruction of human life than he could possibly be.
Unlike the establishment globalists in this race, I've been an unwavering warrior for Iowa ethanol.
An unwavering warrior for Iowa ethanol. Oh, that's great. And it's, you know why? It's because of those great, what do they call those? Iowa values, I think. Oh, man, there's someone in here, I think. He has a weird way of...
For Iowa values.
That's what it is. Iowa values.
For Iowa values.
Yeah.
I don't read, obviously.
I will remain your ethanol champion. Very important.
I will remain. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite Bonnie Tyler songs. I will remain your ethanol champion.
Important to your economy. Ron DeSantis has aggressively fought against ethanol.
Wait, did they just applaud him saying DeSantis? Or did they actually applaud Ron DeSantis? Or who gives a shit?
Which I think would be...
Did he say methanol?
I will remain your ethanol champion. Very important to your economy. Ron DeSantis has aggressively fought against ethanol, which I think would be devastating for Iowa. He fights against it all the time. As president.
He does. He's always punching ethanol in the face. But I know gas, like everyone. I understand gas more than the beans do.
President, I issued a rule declaring all E15 would be made available all year round, and you could reutilize your pumps and all of the existing equipment, which is saving hundreds of millions of dollars for your...
Okay, first of all, he did that because COVID was shutting everything down. He did it to artificially deflate the price of gasoline, which he shit on Biden for doing the next year when we had Delta.
State, and I dramatically increased the number of fueling pumps where E15 could be sold all across the country. We were...
No, during that part of the year, because you can buy it during the summer, and then you just extended it. So you increased it to the pumps that pump it during the summer, the rest of the year, because we had a lack of, oh, fucking hell.
Really great for ethanol.
It's good, so good for ethanol. You know what's also good? A lime, right there on the glass. It's so true. That's how we do it at Mar-a-Lago. I have one of those people bring it to me.
I staunchly defended Iowa's first in the nation.
I was rough for him. That's
for Iowa values. Increased the number of fueling pumps where E15 could be sold all across the country. We were really great for ethanol. I staunchly defended Iowa's first in the nation.
Iowa's first.
Caucuses and was responsible for keeping you as first in the nation. Without me, you would not be first in the nation right now.
I can tell you.
I created the strongest border in U.S. history, built nearly 500 miles of border wall, then wanted to add another 200 miles. We had the fence all built, then the wall was built. It was ready to go up.
Yeah, all they had to do was this. And they wouldn't do it because they want fentanyl baby pacifiers to crawl across the border, you know, in the butthole of an insane rapist from Colombia. That's what the Democrats want.
And when Biden got in, they didn't do it. That's when we first realized this guy actually wanted open borders where people pour into our country.
Really? Because interestingly enough, he was trying to get rid of Title 42, and then as soon as he did, border crossings dropped. I'm just saying, numerically speaking, it sounds like the guy who put Title 42 in place and wanted it kept there, that person would want the porous open border.
And many of those people come out of prisons and mental institutions and terrorists, and it's a terrible thing that
they come out of terrorist women are giving birth to these monsters, and they crawl. That's what these, you think these toddlers are cute? They're not. They crawled right out of a terror vagina, and they don't even,
it's terrible because these terrorist babies who come out of terrorist mothers, there's still an umbilical cord, and then as soon as they cross the border, the Biden did something where that makes them a citizen too, because they're still connected.
Fuck. They come out of terrorists. Sorry, I just can't.
allowed to happen to our country. We'll turn that around very fast, undermine.
Oh yeah, we'll turn that.
I'll pick up the baby on the umbilical cord, and then I'll whip it right back into the terrorist, and it'll pop right back in there, and she'll be running around with it looked like a jump rope hanging out of her. Sorry. I'm not taking this seriously. I will not.
My leadership, we created the greatest economy in the history of the world. Great.
Okay, just no, not true. This, he's selling this mythology like he created Sparta. Shut the fuck up.
And in fact, I actually did it twice, as you very well know. I appointed over.
I even did it with Bidenomics. I don't know if you noticed, everything's back to being great, and that's because I'm still president and Joe Biden is not even allowed in the White House. QAnon was right.
300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices. And last year, those justices, and you know exactly what they did.
Well, what did they do? What exactly did they do? They, I guess they upped the price of gold, did they?
They ruled to end Roe v. Wade, and now pro-lifers have a tremendous power to negotiate. We gave them a tremendous power to negotiate.
Yes, to negotiate the rights away from all women in the country,
which they didn't have until this termination took place. This moves the issue back to the states, where all legal scholars, whether you believe in it or not in it, they felt it should be. And like Ronald...
No, just for the record, all legal scholars did not feel that, did not believe that the states should be able to play ducks and drakes with women's rights, so that a woman has to make a decision where she moves if she's going to have a daughter.
Reagan, I support exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. And remember, the Democrats are the radical.
By the way, notice how he didn't get any applause when he said that.
In it or not in it, they felt it should be. And like Ronald Reagan, I support exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. And remember, the Democrats are the radicals on this issue, because they're willing to kill babies in their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th month, and they're willing to kill babies even after birth.
Okay. No. First of all, killing a baby after it's born is not an abortion, just for the record. That's just plain old-fashioned murder, you dumb son of a bitch. And that's not... Nobody... No one thinks that. Listen to that again.
Democrats are the radicals on this issue, because they're willing to kill babies in their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th month, and they're willing to kill babies even after birth.
No. And by the way, then so are you, motherfucker, because you're you want to give the death penalty to drug dealers after a quick trial. Well, that's just a baby in the 1600th trimester at that point, or whatever the hell. I don't know how old they are. Shut up.
And they are the extremists. They are the radicals, and politicians running for office cannot allow this to happen and cannot let them get away.
Politicians running for office cannot allow them to get, well, I don't know.
With what they do, they try and politicize that issue, and we can't let them get away. We did a phenomenal thing for our country and for life. I fully rebuilt the U.S. military, created Space Force, defeated ISIS.
Yes, Space Force. Yeah, the greatest since
First
Ass
new
Force.
branch of the U.S. Armed Forces in 75 years, Space Force. Not since the Air Force.
That's right, not since the Ass Force.
And was the first president in decades who didn't start a war. In fact, I got us out of those lingering, horrible 20.
Okay, first of all, you built up what was happening in Syria willy-nilly, and you reinvigorated, in your own words, the fight against ISIS in Iraq, sending in more troops in there. The problem with Trump wasn't that he was going to start a war himself, because there was no 9/11. There was no secondary, like, which war are we crediting Obama for starting? Honestly. Is Syria going to be the one that they're going to lay on them because that place, we defended those folks? We don't have, like, all right. We don't, he gave our bases to Russia. I think that in and of itself. But, yeah, Obama didn't start a war. There was no, he didn't start the war on terror, which is how Syria started. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Honestly, he keeps saying that. I don't know that anybody has pulled that apart. He looks like Pizza the Hut. It's true. And he didn't get out of Afghanistan. He just left it.
Yeah. Wars. We were getting out of Afghanistan
Yeah, we were getting out of Afghanistan. 2 more weeks, right after my health care plan and my taxes. We're going to get out of there. But stay in. We're going to keep Bagram.
very powerfully with dignity and strength. In fact, I spoke to the leader of the Taliban.
Oh, fucking hell.
And from that time on, not one American soldier was killed. 18 months, not one soldier was.
Yeah, because you made a retreat plan with the guy. That was you surrendered to the Taliban. That's what that was. I mean, I don't even know what the fucking, how does anybody else describe that? You called the Taliban and said, don't kill any of our people and we'll get the fuck out. We're leaving, just don't kill anybody while we leave. That was it. I mean, he brags about that being the content of the. How is that not a surrender? How is that not a negotiated exit? A surrender? What the fuck?
Was killed until Biden came along and ended up giving them $85 billion worth of equipment left.
How the shit was there $85 billion worth of equipment still left in Afghanistan? Because it was. Most of the shit had been destroyed under Obama in the last 2 years of Obama. Did you put more stuff? Did he move in? When is Trump going to admit that he moved in $60 billion worth of gear? Also, we shredded that shit.
Many Americans behind. We lost 13 incredible lives and many, many badly wounded. The most embarrassing, I think, moment.
Yeah, again, he doesn't feel shame, but he feels embarrassment. It's like he can't even process shame because that's a moral failing, but he can be embarrassed because that's about him. It's an ego thing. That's why he fixates on it being embarrassing. Nobody gives a shit. We're out. You know what's embarrassing? Staying in there for an extra, 18 years.
In the history of our country. And because of that, I believe that was the incentive for Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine when he saw the incompetence of our military and our leadership more than anything.
Well, then he fucked up because he drew the wrong conclusion and he chose the wrong plan of action. Because if he thought that put us on our heels, it actually gave us a lot of our gear and resources back, and we weren't spending money there that we could help Ukraine out with. As a matter of fact, it saved us from having to ship some of the heavy gear back here. It was all waiting on boats to come back home, and they're like, you know what? Here you go. Good Lord.
Anything else. The whole Afghanistan mess, what a shame it was.
What a shame it was.
2024 election is our last shot to save America. And
that's right, America. Sorry, if this second generation rich kid isn't reelected after fucking up and losing, I know all the great things you've done in your history, and from automobile to internet to space travel and all that. What have you done for me lately? You're headed for the dustbin of history, unless this dickhead who had to borrow $50 million from his sister and his alcoholic brother, who would die later, like 2 years later, just to keep the lights on in his business. Yeah, unless you elect a former game show host from a spoof television show about business, like the like Saturday Night Live sketch version of Shark Tank, which is what The Apprentice is. Unless you reelect him, America is a piece of shit. That's the argument he's making. It's a tough sell. Some people are on board.
There's only one candidate, and you know who that candidate is, who's going to get the job done.
Joe Biden. Yeah, he's already in there. I mean, he's not really a candidate. He's current president, but...
And I'm going quickly because we're given 10 points and we're given 10 quick minutes. So I'm going to go quickly, but we did.
We're given 10 quick points and 10 quick minutes. I'm reading my notes from what we were talking about earlier to I'm running out of time.
And I'm going quickly because we're given 10 points and we're given 10 quick minutes. So I'm going to go quickly, but we did a lot of things. It's hard to do it that quickly. In the newest echelon poll of swing.
That was great. And that's the thing, is that he speaks with such clarity, depth, so much reason, so much intellect, and so much care when he's choosing the best words. That's what I enjoy about it, is that, and he never editorializes about his failings in the middle of it, because he's embarrassed that he has to behave like everybody else does, because he's a human being and he has to face that.
10 points and we're given 10 quick minutes. So I'm going to go quickly, but we did a lot of things. It's hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to get it going to a level that nobody can ever turn course on us. Nobody can ever change.
No, definitely. Okay.
To do it that quickly. In the newest echelon poll of swing states, we're trouncing Biden by 7 points. In the big new premise poll, we're beating Biden 43-39, while DeSantis is losing to Biden 33-38. In other polls, I'm leading Biden by 6, 7, 8, and 11 points, while DeSantis is losing to Biden in all cases. I wouldn't...
By the way, that's the idea where you just take the parties. They take like recurring voters on both sides, not independents, not any crossovers, everybody who votes like the standard way or whatever. And then you compare them against it as far as people like actually answering the phone. And the interesting thing is a lot more Democrats pick up the phone than Republicans do. And the Republicans, are more apt to say, Trump, fuck you, click. And yeah, so.
No perverts.
I agree. All right, here we go. Sorry.
Take a chance on that one. I'm leading in the primary polls by 50 and 55% against him and others. And a poll just came out where I'm leading in Iowa.
Hey, dickhead, you do realize you're talking to the people you're trying to convince to answer that poll that they'll vote for you, right? They're not, I mean, maybe it speaks to his crowd. Maybe they're only going to vote for whoever they think is going to win. Maybe that's why they ended up with the Supreme Court. Lesson learned.
We love Iowa by 34 points.
We love, yeah.
Again, other states, I don't like them as much.
Leading in New Hampshire by 35 points. And I'm leading in South Carolina by over 30 points. And that's with 2 politicians running, as you know, from South Carolina, leading by substantially more than 30 points. And a poll just came out a few minutes before I got up here. And in Ohio, the great state of Ohio, we're leading by 52 points and beating Biden by 10 points. That's what we have to do. I'm the only Republican to win Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania in more
Yeah, it's not going to happen again.
than 30 years, and you have to win them. Nationwide, we flipped 200 counties that voted twice for Barack Hussein Obama, including an astounding...
Yeah, and then that didn't happen again. They learned their lesson in 2016. They didn't in 2020.
31 counties right here in Iowa. These are counties that never went for Republicans, and they went for me. And despite 4 years of deranged opposition, we did even better the second time than we did the first time, getting more.
Look, there were more people voting. So everybody did better because mail-in voting works, and they removed all the big hoops that people had to jump through, so more people voted. It's why he got a lot more votes, but it's also why Biden fucking trounced him.
More votes in 2020 than any sitting president in the.
Yes, and your challenger got more than any challenger in history. Yes, we know there's more people alive now than there were in 1913.
History of the United States. They rigged the presidential election in 2020. We're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024.
Real quick. I don't think they did. I think your premise is bullshit. But how? Because if Biden was able to rig the election while he was out of office, how the fuck do you think you're going to beat him now that he's in office? Just a question. I'm just asking questions. That's all I'm doing. That's the,
And God bless the United States.
How is he gonna? How's that work? If candidate Biden with no power was able to quote unquote rig the election and drive the sitting president out of the United States out of the White House, how the fuck are you gonna kick his ass now that he's the president? Where is that thinking? I can't even wrap my head around it. How in the shit?
Use COVID to cheat.
They used COVID to cheat.
Stinks, Hillary.
I know words. I have the best words.
Right.
Deliberately, willfully, and with total premedication.
Mm-hmm.
With your vote, I will fight for Iowa like no one else is going to.
But if you don't give it to me, I'm going to fuck this place. I'm going to burn it to the ground. I'm basically going to turn you into like the Georgia outback. You're going to be like Savannah, Georgia, but with no lights on at all. Just
fight. And I've already proven that. I don't think anybody's proven it like I have.
Well, then I don't even know why you showed up.
Fuck, I don't know how much more I have to do for you stupid fucking people. If you can't vote for me, then obviously you don't deserve it, okay? I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think so.
I will obliterate the deep state. We will.
Yeah, I was going to do it last time, but I only had 4 years, and I didn't get around to it because I was too busy trying to get Mexico to pay for the wall, which they never did, but they kind of did.
I'll say no on 87,000 IRS agents who want to take your money, and much worse than that.
What? Sorry, the IRS, I'm pretty sure the IRS just wants your money. I don't think they're trying to take your virginity. The IRS, they aren't the IRS going, okay, if this guy doesn't pay his taxes, I get the bonus hole. That's not how.
The IRS, they want your adrenochrome. That's what they're coming for. If they can't get the $17 you shouldn't have written off on your gym membership.
They want to weaponize the IRS just like they've weaponized the Justice Department and the FBI. And by the way, if I weren't running, I would have nobody coming after me.
No, you would have already been in jail right now, I guess, technically speaking, because they wouldn't have had to tiptoe as much. Actually, this time, the timeline would play out exactly the way it did.
Or if I was losing by a lot, I would have nobody coming after me. They wouldn't be coming after me.
What? Okay, again, why not? They just gonna if you were a loser candidate, they would just let you keep criming. Is that how you think it works?
If I was losing, they wouldn't even bother. It's only because I'm winning that they apply the law.
Immediately cancel every single open borders policy of the Biden administration and stop.
Yeah, Biden already beat you to that. He canceled your Title 42 thing, and that did it. That pretty much locked it down. That's short of passing comprehensive immigration reform. That's the best you're going to get is back to Obama-Biden numbers.
The invasion of criminals in many cases coming into our country.
Yes, they're parachuting in.
I had the safest border in the history of our country, and we will do it again, and we'll get it.
Thank you, China virus. I had the safest border because the trick, Mitt Romney was talking about self-deportation. He was selling this whole self-deportation, but how would you even do that? Nobody ever could. He could never figure out how do you tell people that they want to leave? And then I came up with it. Just let the China virus run rampant, and even illegals will beat feet and get the fuck out of here.
Done very quickly. On day one, I will sign an executive order to cut federal.
Executive order?
The safest border in the history of our country, and we will do it again, and we'll get it done very quickly. On day one, I will sign an executive order to cut federal.
An executive order? An executive order. Sure, why not?
Combat infantrymen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just set another stock rocket. You saw that, right? Federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on children. I will keep men
on children.
No perverts out of women's sports, and nobody's been tougher on that than me. How?
Yes, no one's been tougher on women's sports than Donald Trump, because anytime he comes around, women have to stop changing and wait till he passes.
Ridiculous is that? And I will sign a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation. Can you believe we even have to say this?
Do I even have? Somebody wrote this. Stephen Miller put child sexual mutilation on my. And I said this when Steve Miller came to work for me.
No perverts.
And yet there he is.
All 50 states. I will fully secure our elections. I will defend the Judeo-Christian values of our nation's founding. Our army manned the airports. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. I won Iowa twice by really a lot.
A lot. And if I lose it this time, fuck you, please.
Set records, and together we will crush crooked Joe Biden, the most crooked president in the history of our country by far. And
He's so crooked. It's almost like he bends back into being straight. It's weird.
Also grossly incompetent.
Yes, he's grossly incompetent, but a master criminal. So that's the trick. That's how he gets you. Is that it's like the inversion of Clouseau. He's not playing. He's pretending to be stupid. So it's very Columbo. He plays dumb, but he's not.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
No, he doesn't know what he's. Yeah.
The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defied the seat of dust. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well.
Yeah.
Look, wait.
Deliberately, willfully, and with total premeditation.
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
They sacrifice every day for the furniture and future.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Destroying our country. We will win the election big, and we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to make it great over and over. Magoo. Thank you very much. Squirt, squirt. Just jack off right on my cheek there, and I'm just going to wander over. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Okay, so I just leave. I just stand. I'm used to standing here like a dickhead while they play YMCA or Hold On, I'm Coming, which is one of the most ironic songs because nobody ever has to hold on if I'm coming. It happens before I even get the H out of my mouth. I'm done. They should change that song to Oops, Sorry I Came. But that's...
Why'd you cut the iMac? He still has a minute on stage.
I didn't cut it.
Who's controlling the iMac?
I'm controlling mine.
Wait a minute. What? Wait, listen. Back up.
Why'd you cut the iMac? He still has a minute on stage.
I didn't cut it.
Who's controlling the iMac?
Who cut? Oh, shit. First of all, who's using an iMac to run? All right, look, Des Moines, I know you're farmers, you're people of the land, but if you're using an orange iMac from 2000, honestly, I want, first of all, it's amazing that it's still running, and I think we should thank Tim Apple.
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
Right. But at the same time, somebody like, who shut off the, did he say iPad? Yeah. He goes, I think he says iMac. Listen, he's still got a minute left on stage, so he bailed early.
Thank
You guys.
everybody.
Why'd you cut the iMac? He still has a minute on stage.
I didn't cut it.
Who's controlling the iMac?
I'm controlling my iMac.
Why'd you cut it? You still had a minute left on stage.
That's what we've been doing for every candidate since they finished.
Well, you still have a minute left on stage.
Why'd you cut him? He still had a minute left on stage. He's like, why'd you cut him? He didn't. He left, dummy. Nobody cut him off. He wasn't censored. He split. But again, I think
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
I agree. He just literally gave up midway through that speech. Now, where are we? Okay, so let's go to, if I may, and hold on one second. Let me remind everybody, because I keep forgetting, like, subscribe, support the show, patreon.com/HalSparks. And I mean, how many times do I have to ask you? What fuck? Just click the like of the thing and write something and do that's not too much to ask, is it? It's fun. Everybody asks you to, and I recognize that, but at the very least, I think you should be able to, just do it. Just try to maybe throw that together. Just give that a shot. What do you think? Before we jump into this next one, I want to remind everybody to do that because I keep forgetting to, and I'm going to try to do better. Okay, so this is Hannity, and Hannity had, thank you so much, Sultan, had a lot of hope for this Devin Archer footage, or testimony. He was very excited. It's a good bit, and that's understandable because he's not bright.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Yeah, see, even Sean Hannity agrees that he's stupid.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Yeah, and some people will walk up to him and go, "You're a moron," and it's like a tick. He just answers.
I agree. I'm a dope.
It's funny, but yeah, it's like a broken clock thing. He says that twice a day. All right, so so here we go. And I love you guys too. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, Hunter's styling in the plant suit. There you go. So this is it's a Fox News alert. It's a alert.
Fox News alert, a live look at Capitol Hill where Hunter Biden's ex-business partner, Devin Archer, is set to meet with House lawmakers in just a couple.
Oh, so exciting. Were they ever so young? Oh my God. And moments before that, it was like the world was their Tim Apple.
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
It was like the love and a pathway towards greatness and hope laid out before them. The grass was green, the sky was blue, the clouds were fluffy and didn't give you turbulence. And there was just nothing ahead of them except joy and acceptance and hope and then to have it dashed so wantonly by the guy they were counting on. I all men are the same.
Of hours.
Hunter's former pal is expected to divulge Joe Biden's involvement with Hunter's business deals. And
spoiler alert, he doesn't.
Now, and how the disgraced first son would reportedly impress his foreign clients by putting his daddy on the telephone.
Sean Hannity joins us live to talk about it this morning. Sean, what do you expect? Is he going to just spill the beans on the Biden family
or are you really giving me the opportunity to use that yellow as a green screen to put something behind you? You don't. I'm not going to do it. I don't have time.
According to this email, it was years ago, they seem very, very close. They're telling each other how much they love each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gay. Men saying they love you. That's always suspect. I don't trust that.
You're talking about Devin Archer's testimony?
Archer. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a deposition. It's going to be behind closed doors. Tonight on Hannity, we will have James Comer on. Hopefully, we'll get some insight into what happens.
Oh, yeah. You know what Comer's going to come on and tell you? I don't want to give it away, but he's going to come on and tell you there's still a lot that they're looking into, and they found a witness that is going to give them the big thing that's right around the corner. And, they learned a lot from this, and it's set them in a couple of directions that they think if they can get a hold of the paperwork, there will be something along those lines.
We expect the transcript to be released, if not today, within 3 or 4 days.
3 or 4 days. I agree.
I agree. I'm a dope. Interesting twist, though, over the weekend, and it has riled a lot of Republicans on the Hill, and that is that the DOJ was trying to get...
Oh, they were already talking about it, stupid. It's a lie. That didn't happen. The dude's getting sentenced for bilking a Native American tribe out of $40 million. He was part of this game. He's getting 1 year and 5 days, I think, for being a lesser partner in selling fake bonds to people, because they thought by the time they looked up, they'd made a bunch of money. It's crypto idiocy. He's fucked. But, and Biden's not going to pardon him. He hasn't promised him one. There's no, all during the time that Trump is, talking, is selling pardons to people on his way out the door because it's the last opportunity he has to make money off the presidency. We find out that this guy, the charges against him were dropped or set aside in 2018 because they thought at some point maybe they'd be able to leverage him for later, and then he didn't play ball, so they just re-indicted him in October of 2020 as another October surprise. They just timed it out literally. So Hunter Biden's business partner has just been indicted. It's so fucking ham-handed.
Devin Archer, remember in a previous case that he was sentenced to 1 year in prison, they tried to get him to report to prison. Many in Congress are saying, wait a minute, this is to a...
No, they didn't. You can't get someone to, quote, report to prison unless you have a sentencing hearing. People have to be sentenced before they're sent to prison. It might be news to this dipshit, but it's true.
Obstruct a congressional investigation.
Hold on. I can't not do this, and I hope you guys can forgive me, but there's just no way. Let's see. I'm going to go over here. I need a... See, would it be in some pictures, something like that? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I'll do this. Yeah, this will work. Put this in here. Whoops. Get over here. There it goes. And then, hold on, give me one moment. I'm just going to try and do a little bit of homework, if I may. Take this out. Yeah, that'll work. And let's see, let me put this in, and got to move this down here. And they always try to, they want me to do this, but that's what they do. So hold on, let's close this. Then we go into here, and we check this. Go to filters, and then I go to what? I need a color key. That's what I need. Okay, and then I'm going to choose the custom color, and then I'm going to select that color, and then I'm going to use I'm going to go to yellow, something like that. What's this? That's a bright yellow. I think it's a pretty bright, something like that. Okay, that'll work. And let's see, does that work? Let's see, raise the similarity to it. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, there we go. And then we close that, and then we take this guy and we move this around, and then I gotta shrink it down a little bit. And I'll do this. There we go. This is better. Okay. Now, sorry, you were saying. Hi. Yeah.
and they want an investigation into why it is they tried to stop his appearance today. He had been scheduled 3 prior times, so that's going to be fascinating to watch. Now, anybody that's been watching Fox knows that Miranda Devine has had some phenomenal testimony as it relates to what we expect to hear from Devin Archer.
Miranda Devine is not testifying anywhere. She's had no testimony. She just talks to you, asshole. Testimony happens under oath.
Remember, Joe Biden, as a candidate, repeatedly said, I never once talked to my son about his foreign business dealings. I never talked to my brother. I never talked to anybody, for that matter. A big deal has been made over the fact that that lie has now been exposed in a variety of ways. And so what's fascinating about it is now the White House is saying, well, I've never been in business with my son, Hunter. Well, either you talked to him about it or you didn't talk to him about it. And to try and change it, I've never been in business. Devin Archer, we expect, according to Miranda, would testify today, and John Solomon confirms this, that, in fact, Joe Biden...
Again, no, they didn't. This is not what it turned out at all. This is not how it turned out at all. This is not anywhere near what was actually said.
Would call into these meetings. Hunter would put his father on speaker, and it would be Hunter, Devin, foreign business partners. Joe would kind of come in as the closer and say, see, you have access to Dad. Here's the big question. And
yeah, except that's not at all what happened.
And Steve, I watched Steve's interview with James Comer. Steve, one thing we now know for a fact, we have a timeline on the addiction of Hunter Biden. It was from 2003 to 2019. Okay, so at the time, he was an active crack addict when most of these business deals were going on.
Yeah, he did work out a lot. I think he went to the gym and that kind of stuff. Of all the crack addicts that I've seen, he seems to have had the most meat on his bones. Of most of the crack addicts that I think I've seen. Yeah, I think that it apply. I don't know. You might have to ask the guys behind you.
I have no doubt that China, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Romania, Mexico, and a dozen countries knew that.
Right. It didn't do them any good.
So the question is, why was Burisma willing to pay Hunter, who went on Good Morning America and admitted he had no experience in energy, oil, gas, coal, or Ukraine, millions of dollars for something he had no experience in? We get some insight in that 1023 form. It all begins to come together now.
Because
that's the FBI informant.
The FBI informant, who's Rudy Giuliani, was trying to snipe a deal out from under Hunter Biden, who was trying to make a legit business out of Burisma, and that's exactly what fucking happened. Now, I know what you're thinking. Like, there are just some people that when you're working with them, you're after a while, you're like, you know what? I might have been naive in the beginning and just kind of looked the other way at some of the things they do, but that can only go on for so long, and I'm not comfortable with it anymore. And you kind of change, like maybe I shouldn't use his attorney as my fixer, and I'm just spitballing here, considering who he hangs out with and the fact that that guy is engaged in child sex trafficking. I'm starting to rethink this. And then in some cases, you just go, nah.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Okay.
That quotes the CEO of Burisma saying that he thinks Hunter is dumb, that he didn't want to do anything with Hunter.
Hey, so let me get this straight. The guy who calls Hunter Biden dumb, where's that guy right now? Was that guy on the up and up? Was he a decent, upstanding businessman? Is there a reason? Trump thinks that people that play by the rules are dumb. It sounds like Zlochevsky and Trump have a lot in common.
But he needed the protection that his father would provide them, meaning Joe, then vice president. Joe then goes to Ukraine, leverages $1 billion to get a Ukrainian prosecutor fired.
No, there's a problem with that theory. It falls apart fairly quickly. By the way, whatever you do, don't look over your left shoulder, Sean. I'm just saying. There's a big problem. It's a 2-word problem, and maybe you can answer it for me. Call him. Just go watch the video of Joe Biden speaking at the Council on Foreign Relations in front of a packed house of people who are interested in foreign policy. And you've probably seen some of it. So I would fast forward straight to the part where Biden uses the words "call him." Just you might. I feel like it'll be very illuminating.
Who is investigating Burisma and Hunter Biden. Hunter continues to get paid, thus the Biden bribery family allegations. In my
No. Thus the bribery family, the Biden bribery family allegations are simply there because you want them to be there, not that this was the cause of it. As a matter of fact, in any normal world, if we're not living in the upside down, this would be indicative of actually someone not taking a bribe.
mind, this now is one of the single biggest allegations of any president in the history of this country.
And yeah, that's the part, isn't it, Sean? That's the tough one of the biggest allegations in the history of any presidency, any person who was president. The allegations brought up, and it's interesting that you bring them up like you do. Hey, can you tell those guys behind you to settle down? I'm trying to make a point. So allegations, you're saying. So case, no. Evidence, no. Greatest evidence, no. Biggest allegations, sure. And I think they get bigger the more ridiculous they are, and that might be indicative of how weak the actual case is. Meanwhile, will you tell those guys behind you to just simmer down? Where are you? Are you on an airplane, Sean? Are you flying somewhere? I mean, it looks like a kind of a small plane. I'm just saying. The whole thing's first class, I guess. That's very impressive.
While everybody on the left could be paying attention all they want to the charges against Donald Trump, and they just keep piling on charges like they did late last week.
Yes, they're just piling on charges with stuff that he admits to doing on tape that he didn't have to do. New shit. This is, by the way, these allegations that they're making against Hunter Biden is stuff from the Obama presidency, is the theory that this happened in 2014 or 2009 or whatever. Which is, I mean, again, all bullshit. The stuff Trump is getting hit with happened last year. It's happening now. He's literally lying about the criminal charges now.
This is going to be a massive issue.
No, I mean, you're going to try and make it one, but it's not actually going to be one.
For the November 2024 election, it might.
Only if Hunter's the candidate, which I got to say, I don't know that I'm comfortable voting for him. In terms of, let's see, I don't know if that's the case. Let me see if I can. Nah, it won't work. I just had an idea, and if I try it, it's going to crash my entire system. I'll build it for later.
Might be the cause that Democrats throw him off the ticket, in my view.
Yeah, you're an idiot. No. If this would be a reason for Democrats to even consider kicking Joe Biden off the ticket, then Republicans have no excuse whatsoever for not dumping Trump a year ago. Because there's he's on tape. He has co-defendants. He's bragged about it. In an interview, he admitted the fucking crime.
On that last.
Oh, by the way, yes, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Who else is going to bring on a cast of characters like this for you? Just saying.
Last topic you brought up there about what they're doing with President Trump. Seems like they're handling it very differently. We're up to 41 charges, I think, now, President Trump. The last.
And they're going light on him.
3 come in this group of bringing in a couple of staffers and saying, oh, President Trump ordered you to do this, ordered you to do that. You better spill the beans. We've got a former property man.
Yeah, that's how it. Joey, you have just described how the mafia works. Now these next thing they got against, John Gotti is that he calls a couple of guys in and says he wants to hear loud noises outside a guy's car and said that we're supposed to,
Manager at Mar-a-Lago, and he's going to appear before a Miami.
I'm mad because I have no one to jerk off.
Miami judge this morning.
Alone, all the lonely jerkers. Where do they are?
And he's in this classified documents.
I'm sad.
I just love it. This is a picture they picked.
Case against Trump, and it seems to be the experts that we've had come on are saying they're trying to use this to pressure people to turn on President Trump.
Which wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't actually shit to turn on him for. By the way, what the fuck do you think they're trying to do with Devin Archer? What are they trying to do with the other? What do you think the Republicans are trying to do with witnesses they're bringing in? They're just failing. The only reason these guys are pissed is because it's working. Because they're like, oh yeah, it was a crime. Oh sure, yep. Yeah, I got text messages. He texted. He used my phone to text this guy, and then we went and had a meeting. And he'll tell you. We sat down there, and the boss told us to, that's why. Then we talked to the pool guy about flooding the server room. That didn't work, but we tried. I mean, yeah. Oh, the secret documents. Yeah. He'd written all over the top of the boxes. Which ones that he thought, he put dollar signs on the top on any ones he thought he could sell to the Saudis and shit like that. That's why I maybe get a bunch of new box tops. So, they're like, are you being pressured into this? Oh, fuck yeah. If you didn't pressure me, I'd keep my fucking trap shut. Yeah, because I'm going to go to jail too because I helped him commit a crime. But I didn't, I'm not making up the crime part. I think that's the part you're running. That's the issue, I think, more than anything else.
President Trump, of course, responded and said, this is fiction. This did not happen. I never ordered.
That's a weird thing. Is it? It might be a better argument if it wasn't his only argument.
That. Where do you think this goes?
You know what's fascinating about that story is both President Trump and his attorney over the weekend said, I don't know what they're talking about. No tapes were erased. And
yeah. All right, dummy. I don't know what they're charging me with attempted murder for. I wasn't able to kill the person. They're still alive, aren't they? Look, is the money still in the bank? Yes, it is. What's the problem here? Just because I come in with a shotgun, wearing a ski mask, trip over my own shoes, the gun goes off, slides across the floor, hits me right in the nuts, and I'm crying when the cops show up. Is that really a robbery? Can you even call that a robbery? I mean, come on.
That everything that was subpoenaed was handed over.
Yeah, because they couldn't get rid of it because the guy they asked to erase it said no. The getaway driver just sat there in park going, the fuck, I'm not going to speed. There's a cop right there. Are you stupid?
I agree. I'm a dope.
That's not an excuse. That doesn't work at all. Why in the world does he? All right.
So either.
By the way, he's repeating what Alina Habba said.
It was or it wasn't.
Yeah.
Now, if he ordered tapes deleted and they weren't deleted and they still got handed over, I don't know. You tell me what's worse. Is it that they got the tapes or 33,000 subpoenaed emails of Hillary?
They also got. God damn it! We have to. Okay, how many? Yeah, here you go. So, if I may. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Here you go. Clinton's office disclosed in March of 2015 that her private server had a total of 62,320 emails. It said at the time that her lawyers went through the emails and identified 30,490 work-related emails and 31,830 private emails. In December of 2014, about 21 months after she left office, Clinton gave the State Department the 30,490 work-related emails, totaling roughly 55,000 pages. She indicated that she deleted the others. I don't see any reason to keep them, she said March 10th, 2015 press conference. However, Comey said Clinton had multiple servers during her 4 years as Secretary of State, and not all of her work-related emails were turned over to the State Department. The FBI recovered several thousand work-related emails that were not provided to the State Department, and he said it was possible they included some of the emails deleted as personal by her lawyer when they reviewed and sorted her emails for production in late 2014. Were any work-related emails intentionally deleted? There is no evidence to date that work-related emails were intentionally deleted. In all, the FBI recovered about 14,900 emails that were not part of the 30,000 work-related emails that Clinton turned over to the State Department in December 2014. But we don't know yet how many of them were work-related. The State Department, which is under court order to release the emails recovered by the FBI, there's articles now, you can read all of them, so apparently the classification of them is very low, if at all. On September 7th, government officials disclosed that 30 of the emails were related to Benghazi, but only one had previously undisclosed and two others were near duplicates of emails that had already been publicly released. Comey said the FBI found no evidence that any of the additional work-related emails were intentionally deleted in an effort to conceal them in some sort of way. In his July 5th press conference, Comey said that, like many email users, Secretary Clinton periodically deleted emails or emails that were purged from the system when devices were changed. When did Clinton delete her 31,830 private emails? The FBI on September 2nd released a two-part summary of its investigation of Clinton that said the former Secretary of State's emails were deleted sometime between March 25th and 31st, 2015. That was about 3 weeks after the House Select Committee on Benghazi served Clinton with a subpoena on March 4th, 2015 to produce any emails related to its investigation into the deaths of 4 Americans. That's the subpoena. To produce any emails related to its investigation into the deaths of 4 Americans in Benghazi in 2012. Initially, the campaign told us that the deletions occurred sometime between December 2014 and March 4th, 2015, but did not provide a date. Clinton campaign spokesperson Josh Schwerin later told us that Clinton and her attorneys had no knowledge of the email deletions in March 2015 until the FBI released its report on September 2nd. That's what the FBI report said. Here's what the FBI report said. By December 2014, Clinton's lawyers had completed their review of her emails, sent her work-related emails to the State Department. At that time, a Clinton lawyer told Platte River Networks, which was maintaining Clinton's private server, that the former secretary no longer needed any emails that were more than 60 days old and instructed an unnamed PRN employee to modify the email retention policy to reflect this change. The PRN employee told the FBI that sometime because she's no longer in public service. Sometime between March 25th, 31st, 2015, he realized that he did not make the change requested by Clinton's office, and he deleted her old emails at that time. When did the FBI begin its investigation? Okay, did Clinton's emails contain classified? Okay, yes. More than 2,000 of the 30,490 emails Clinton turned over to the State Department in December of 2014 contained classified information, including 110 emails in 52 email chains that contain classified information that at the time were sent or received, Comey said. The FBI director said a very small number of the emails containing classified information bore markings indicating the presence of classified information, contrary to Clinton's claim that none were marked as classified. And that's the idea, is that the emails themselves weren't classified, but they contained stuff, and that was splitting hairs. Although we did not find clear evidence that Secretary Clinton or her colleagues intended to violate laws governing the handling of classified information, which, by the way, is the entire case against Donald Trump, because he intended to hide this shit. There is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information. That's it. Carelessness. And by the way, you're not careless. You're my lovely audience, and I appreciate you, and I think you're wonderful. I just wanted to say that before I go back to the other screen, but while we were here. Yes. Meanwhile, she got more shit around that stuff than Cheney got about torture. Just for the record. Okay, now back to Idiot Central. Hold on one second.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Okay, here we go.
Hillary Clinton, that in fact were deleted. They're not washed with a cloth, but washed out with something we never had heard of before called BleachBit.
BleachBit is its service, fuckhead. Again, we talked about this, I talked about this to my cousin while I was in Kentucky, we were in Ohio, and at anybody in the chat room, and I'll ask you guys because you guys are nerdy like me a little bit. Some even maybe more so. Who's to say? Anybody remember DOD wipe that used to be available? And it sounds like a toilet paper that kills you and hides the body. But ever remember when you could start using like a thing called like a level of erasing a hard drive called DOD wipe? Anybody remember that? It was back when you had to like defrag your hard drive and stuff like that. Yeah, still have floppies with DOD wipe somewhere. There you go. Yeah, it's a 7-pass. So what it would do, for those that don't know, is that what people realized was at one point that when you erase a hard drive, everything is still on it. It just erases largely the catalog for that area of the disk and says, don't write over this. Yeah, it kills the root. That's all it does. And so new files come in and they write over top of it. And what happens is if you got a shitty drive or it's old or you've used it a lot, it will rewrite over places, and there'll be some errant zeros and ones in there that were printed on the disk itself that can kind of screw up your files. And back in the day when the every bit counted on every hard drive you had, you would defrag them so it would move like all the video pieces together and all the audio files together and all the text files together. It would organize it so that it would move the video files towards the center of the spinning physical disk, and the text stuff could be on the outside because you could make more mistakes. It could verify it slower on the outside of a spinning disk because the inside, can spin faster is effectively the idea. You could spin it up as you go in. Anyways, so point being is if you wanted to get rid of stuff, it wasn't just enough to erase the drive, because if you do, everything's still there. Everything. If you are like, I erased my drive, and you throw it out, anybody who wants to can hook it up and read everything that's on it, because it's just the organizing file. It's like setting fire to the Dewey Decimal System drawers at the library and thinking you've burned the library down. Is it harder to go find the book you're looking for? Sure. But the segments are still there and they're pretty much organized and you can find stuff. So it's super easy. So I know I'm nerding out, but I earned my nerd hail and bona fides. But the DOD wipe that you would have would erase the drive, which would mean it would erase the catalog or the directory. And then it would write over top of the disk a bunch of ones and a bunch of zeros and a bunch of ones and a bunch of zeros, and then a 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 back and forth, and then a 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 back and forth like that, and then it would go back to like all zeros. And after it used to, at one point it was 4 layers, and then it was 7 layers, and that's if any run of the mill computer guy, hacker, nerd person like myself got a hold of that drive, you wouldn't be able to get the shit that was originally on it. It was a 7-level wipe of it. Right, exactly. So it was all basically, it was like they'd taken a record and just scratched it so much with, instead of just running you can ruin a record by scratching right across it. It won't play right. But you could arguably go and just line by line fix each groove, just sand it a little bit, and it would play right through. The needle will keep going. But if you took a piece of sandpaper to the whole fucking thing and literally smoothed it back down to the vinyl flat where there's no grooves on it, record gone. That's the idea. Okay. So boot and nuke, right? DOD was 35 wipe, right? It would write over top of it. So, and the standard grew and grew and grew. It started at 4, then it went to 7, 35. The point is that they would raise the number, and then somebody would figure out how to still get the stuff that was on it. After it'd been rewritten dozens of times, you could still find some of the shit that was underneath it. And when you get to a government level where they're talking about classified stuff, they were like, fuck it, we have to obliterate this shit. And it doesn't leave your presence until it is effectively because you could burn it, it would warp, you could unwarp it, and it would still be there. That was the concern, because this is laser written, it's laser etched in there. So the bleach bit thing was just like a total obliteration of every pocket of zeros or ones in any order on the thing. And that's how all government agencies nowadays that have any clearance issues at all. Even the Department of Transportation does this at the higher levels, because they don't want people seeing the decision-making process and being able to game the system if they want a contract, for example. So they want to wipe all this stuff out. So they destroy the drives and everything. Okay. Most upper level corporations that make a lot of money or deal with a lot of money or deal with, a mixture of like proprietary secrets and shit like that, they do the same thing. So a private security firm, which I know Hillary Clinton had for her campaign and had for everyone, is going to go, what are we doing? We're getting rid of all this stuff? You got it. Okay, so this is the machine. Gount. Remember how CD cleaners would leave all the scrubby white marks after many cleanings? Video rentals were covered with them. Yes, exactly. You know what kills the process, though? I don't know. I don't need to defrag anymore. No, you don't really, because it automatically does it later on. But the point is, that private company is going to farm out. It's like those companies that show up with shredders anytime a company is in trouble. Yes, plus SSDs are a totally different thing. Solid states, yeah, you don't have to defrag them. It doesn't matter because they're always reshuffling it. Won't format do the same thing? No, it will not. Formatting it will just change the instruction set on how files are organized. Anyways, point being is that, especially at that time, now it's different. SSDs, solid state drives are a totally different thing. You don't defrag them and any of that stuff. And when you erase them, they stay erased because and those things you kind of have to, you just destroy them. We're talking about platter drives, which is more than likely what these had. Of course, they put them through the bleach bit process because they're not stupid. If there's even one classified document that you're concerned that might be in there and you don't want to go through 66,000 emails combing through every fucking thing and going, does this qualify or does it not qualify? And while we're at it, does anybody really need our plans from last year because we might repeat them coming out or whatever? So we're going to go, on a vacation. We like this one vacation place and we don't let people know that that's where we go vacation because we can get killed because my husband is a former president. All that shit. Or you talk about what the security around your husband is, which is classified, and your own security, which is also classified, but that's just your life because he's the former president, you're the Secretary of State. Like, there's a dozen things in your normal life that are just always kind of classified at some level. So when you're done with that stuff, you're going to burn everything till there's absolutely fucking nothing left. So that's where that is. Yes, Futurepedia stuff on Friday. This is old stuff, quite frankly. So, anyways, hold on. Like, subscribe. Thank you. You're wonderful. Okay, back to these morons.
I agree. I'm a dope.
Okay.
And devices that might have had copies of those messages destroyed with hammers, beaten up Blackberries, beaten up iPhones.
Yep. Right. You know why? Because the motherboards of these devices can temporarily store information outside of the storage itself. Once you turn it off, there's still some remnant information left in sort of the internal RAM that's written into the board itself, which can also be stolen because holy fuck, what security forces all over the world have figured out how to do is insane. First of all, they can read what's on your computer through your electrical plugs. So let's just start there. So you need the battery backups that Hillary Clinton used on her server, for example, have interrupters in them that don't allow that kind of intrusion to be made. And they're not hooked up to the internet via Wi-Fi. It's a hard wire with a firewall. And he's like, nobody's even heard of this crazy, crazy stuff. Bullshit. Sean Hannity's home email and all that kind of stuff, or Fox News has their own server. They use the same thing. If they want to know about this shit, they can walk up to the Fox News IT department and go, hey, all that information, the private information you keep on all the hosts in case you need to find us because there's breaking news and all that shit. Where's that stored? Oh, it's over here in our private server. Really? How do you keep people from getting into that? Because we use the same system Hillary Clinton used because nobody was ever able to break into hers. Really? Yeah, really. Fucking idiots. Oh, and somebody, Mr. Bojangles, thank you. Turned 74 years old today. Ah, it was definitely strange. P.S. South Sparks, I always felt it from the start that Georgia election call from Trump is what will be the nail in his coffin. You're not wrong, but the documents case is the one that's going to drive more supporters away from him. So the election call, he will always be able to plead stupid and have, plausible deniability.
The SIM cards removed, etc. So,
right.
If we're going to compare.
And destroyed. They removed the SIM cards and they destroyed them. Meanwhile, Donald Trump took cardboard boxes filled with classified documents and put them on a stage in Pine Hall at Mar-a-Lago, a property he rents out to fucking strangers, including foreigners who during his presidency purchased memberships just so they could be around the president because they knew he would yammer about national secrets in the fucking cafeteria, in the dining room. And then he moves them, after he's told to lock the stuff up, he moves them into the shitter and then puts a lock on the door, a padlock. Can I show you guys something? This is pretty cool. Show you something. Wait a minute. Okay. See this padlock? I like this padlock. This is my favorite padlock. This is my padlock. See this? Okay. The reason I like this padlock is because this padlock is a fingerprint padlock. Wasn't that expensive. Is pretty cool. Works very well. Hold on, I'm gonna hold the. Oh yeah, I think you have to shut it for. Oh, my finger's messy. Anyways, it worked once. You'll see. So, point being. I'm resetting my finger. Point being is that this padlock itself, yeah, there you go. Just popped it again. It has to reset. It has to close for a certain amount of time or something. But anyways, this thing's pretty high tech. But I can get into this thing even if my fingerprint's not on it because I can find a hammer. And if there's a party going on with a DJ, no one will hear me. Now you're thinking, how can you guarantee there will be a party going on with a DJ? Well, it helps when there's a party going on with a DJ 4 fucking days a week. Here's the other thing. I can make the party happen. I can literally, in this particular analogy, I could rent out Mar-a-Lago just by finding find a member that'll sponsor me, get a bunch of people there. I don't even have to do this part myself, but I can throw a party there and then have them, on a day especially that I know that Trump's not there, so his security detail will be gone. And then, drinks all around for everybody who works there, have a great time, whatever. And then at some point walk down there with a fucking hammer that somebody else has left for me. And that they threw through the goddamn bushes where Walt Nauta met with De Oliveira. And do it on the beat. There you go, I'm in. And then just close the door behind me, close the door behind me, root around inside, find all that I want. Shit, if I can leave my fingerprints everywhere. You know why? Because if my fingerprints are found in that place, Trump's in more trouble than I am. He'll clean up after the crime. If they come in and they go, holy fuck, there's a guy got in here and knocked the fucking lock off and he just walked away. Shit, get some, scrub this place down. You want to talk about fucking bleach bit?
And contrast. One of the questions now that Americans, for the first time, a majority do not believe that we have equal justice and equal application of our
because Donald Trump would be in jail right now if we did.
Laws in this country. That is a sad day for this country.
Yeah, because you guys do nothing but attack the FBI all fucking day long. And also, this goes to like the ACA. This is like the ACA argument. That 56% of Americans don't like the ACA back when it started. Yeah, because 28 of them, 28% never won anything like it ever, anything even close, and they don't like it. Even if they use it, they are on Medicare and Medicaid, but they don't like government health care. They'll never, ever. They hate it. They hate Obama. They hate that he had Obamacare, and they hate the concept of caring for other people. They're disgusted by it. Tui. And then the other 28% that make up that group, the 26% that don't like it, hate it because it should have been universal health care that was free and no copay and 100% single payer from the government, and not and free to all citizens, period, end of story, and anything short of it is murder. That's not the same thing. Those two groups of people could not be more politically different. But both of them, if you ask them, do they like the ACA, will tell you no. And just as angrily.
Because that would mean that the predicate for every law that we have, our Constitution, is just being washed away and shredded.
It's weird. I think your best chance is just, Sean, is just to bug out. Find somebody you know who, I don't know, who owns a private plane or used to, and pack some shit and go. I will cover for you. Just hit it.
If Hillary Clinton is treated one way and
she wasn't,
her Chappaqua home was not raided, the 4 Biden locations for top secret classified documents that they found were not raided.
They didn't have to be raided. Biden didn't make them raid the place. He said, come on in. Look to your heart's content. After you. No delays, no fucking nothing. The day they asked, he's like, yep, send him over there. Yeah. Weird. There just seems, but the guy, here's the thing. There seems to be a two-tiered sense of justice in Sean Hannity's fucking numb skull.
I agree. I'm a dope.
On the one hand, he thinks that Biden, who willingly allowed the FBI to look at all those sites and gather all their stuff together without interfering at all, should have been, quote unquote, raided. That Hillary Clinton, who there was never a belief that she had a second server. The idea wasn't that she was retaining those documents, but that they were gone forever because they were digital and they didn't physically exist anywhere. So raiding it would to find that they weren't there because they were emails is just dumb. Meanwhile, this asshole's favorite president was engaged in a criminal conspiracy to make his lawyer a criminal, to make his lawyer lie on his behalf. The two tiers of justice that exist is the total lack of recognition that the normal rules of engagement that most people operate in, and that Biden and Hillary Clinton both did in this situation, and the absolute opposite, maddeningly, like, total disregard for any kind of quality of belief in the legal system at all on Trump's side, and this asshole running interference for them at every turn, for Trump at every turn.
If in fact Hillary Clinton's subpoenaed emails were destroyed, clearly consciously, they're accusing Donald Trump.
No, not clearly consciously, because the FBI director and the FBI said not clearly consciously. As a matter of fact, they did due diligence to turn stuff over, and the stuff that had classified stuff in it that they thought was just personal was buried in email chains. It was tacked on to other ones. They'd given the one that had the classified stuff on it, but they didn't realize it was attached to a chain of other documents because they'd already eliminated them.
Trump of asking somebody, requesting that somebody destroy something. He's
what?
Donald Trump of asking somebody, requesting that somebody destroy something. He's saying they destroyed nothing and that they handed over everything that was asked for.
What? So any mafia boss who is turned down by his hitman is no longer engaged in a crime.
He's saying they destroyed nothing and that they handed over everything that was asked for. I can't wait to get the real answer on that. I suspect.
Me neither.
I suspect they wouldn't be saying they had it and turned it over if they didn't.
Sean, I want to get your...
Wait. What?
They're accusing Donald Trump of asking somebody, requesting that somebody destroy...
No. They're not accusing him of anything. That's what they discovered in interviewing the people that physically tried to do it. And they have a witness who refused to engage in this criminal activity, who told the conversation that happened with the other two people who are accused in the case, co-conspirators with Donald Trump, and all their stories match up. And so his thing is that, well, if Trump told them to get rid of it and then they couldn't, I mean, is there any kind of crime going on here?
They're accusing Donald Trump of asking somebody, requesting that somebody destroy something. He's saying they destroyed nothing and that they handed over everything that was asked for.
Yeah, he's not saying he didn't ask them to destroy it, though. And his lawyer's saying he would have had the right to. Is he this stupid? Jesus Christ.
I can't wait to get the real answer on that.
Jeez, that's a real Paul Manafort. That's what our position is.
I suspect they wouldn't be saying they had it and turned it over if they didn't.
I suppose they wouldn't have turned the gun over if they'd been able to make it to the lake. How in the shit? Look at his fucking stupid. Really? Consider what they are accusing Biden of doing. Biden says, "Hello, what's the weather like?" on a speakerphone phone call with his son to whoever he's hanging out with. Doesn't even know whether they're business associates, friends, wherever. They're just calling all times of the day. Whenever he's with somebody or he's around, he just puts them on speakerphone. It doesn't matter. I'm sure that Joe Biden, at some point in his life, has, without knowledge, said hello to a prostitute. I have no doubt, because he's going to go, yeah, I'm here. Tammy's here to say hi to Tammy. And Tammy's going, hi, how are you? Hey, how are you, Tammy? Hope you're having a good day. Oh my God. This is proof that Joe Biden was engaged in human trafficking, right? That's where they're going. Just saying hi and asking how the weather is a criminal conspiracy when it comes to Joe Biden. But look at this dickhead. And all three of them. But Trump's not even denying he told Walt Nada to erase the tapes. He's going, they're my tapes. I can erase them if I fucking want to. Jesus Christ.
Sean, I want to get your take on this. You remember.
Yeah, we're between the three of us, we have a running bet of who's got the dumbest take on this, and so far I'm winning. But I want to ask you, because maybe you can, be the dark horse in this.
A few weeks ago, everyone does. The Los Angeles Dodgers welcoming in the Sisterhood of Perpetual Indulgence.
Oh, what the shit? No, you don't get what. That's where this section went. I'm not gonna look how much of this video is left. They tacked that shit on the end of. Hey, Sean, while we have you here, can you shit on drag queens for us for a second? Fuck you. The hell does that have to do with anything? What? Well, again, this goes to the Andy Biggs footage. Do you think if this was all a smoking gun and they caught him red-handed, they would dovetail from talking about the president's, conspiring to peddle influence to drag queens showing up at Dodger Stadium? God damn, they're like, our people are gonna lose any sense of interest in this shit. I had a bunch of other stuff, including this piece of shit, but I'm out of time. I'll get to it later. Oh, I got to turn off the, hold on, turn the filter off on this one because it'll get weird on everything else because it'll look normal again. But I'm going to keep that in case we need it in the future. Because I mean, mean, arguably, if I chose I opened that up and I selected the color and I went with sort of a, I don't know, like a blue or a light, I guess a lighter blue probably. That looks about right to me. I click OK on that. And let's see if this is, raise that up a little bit. Is that, nope. Why does that not want to go there? Oh, because it's turned off. I'm stupid. Hold on 1 second. Cancel. It's going to be too much now. There you go. Got to bring it down some. I was messing with it, and then there we go. That's much better. Thanks. Yeah, there you go, Greg. Look, buddy, you're on the airplane with your favorite president. Isn't that fun? There you go. Oops. Sorry. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, I bent over without the thing to try to. So, it's just the dream come true for Greg Kelly. He's just like, look, I'm on the plane, Mom, with my favorite people in the whole world. Either way, I'll shut that off because that's too much. But I do want to say this before I hit the road, if I may, because I got to go get some food for the fam. I adore you guys, and I want to get in here. There you go. And yeah, I agree. Joe is dapper looking. And we will get into the longer Trump speech that he gave recently because
I know words. I have the best words.
It's true.
Combat infantrymen.
Yeah. And at some point we will we'll do that whole rally.
The Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. To me, Corona means Italy.
Of course. So
military institutions and their installations.
Uh-huh.
First Lady's doing great, and I would say fully recovered or just about fully recovered. But we are fully recovered, and I am.
Sure. And we'll go back over it. It's
Action replays in magnified fashion.
And hopefully we'll have some guests.
We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen.
And I want to thank you guys. Please like and subscribe if you can. And I just want to say that I called it, and the Devon Archer testimony did not help the Republicans at all. If anything, it set them back. And I cannot wait until we have the segment on James Comer on Hannity, promising in the near future wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things that are going to finally make the America great again.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
So until then, love you guys. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And then I think I have a screen on here that allows me to, yeah, I do. If I push this.